It's the dream of every aspiring artist to someday make a living just by making art. Well, it's also an elusive dream in many cases, but one that Audrey Deal-McEver achieved, all thanks to talent, a lot of work, and nonstop learning. Here's a profile of the Nashville artist who reached success and notoriety in the world of ceramic pottery. Every morning, Audrey Deal-McEver walks to work, a short walk to a studio behind her home in Nashville. After earning a degree at Ohio University and further studies in Germany, she returned home determined to make ceramic pottery a full-time endeavor. And she did it.
There's no end of things to explore, so I have a hunch I'm going to keep doing this a long time and never really feel like I fully mastered it.
Audrey's specialty is functional pottery. Her works incorporate the beauty of nature into pieces that are meant to be used.
That's how I make most of my living right now, is selling mugs, bowls, plates, things that people can use in their kitchens. And that's one thing I love about pottery, is it's such an easy way for people to become interested in the arts. Anyone can connect a handmade mug, and it's such an intimate art form too. It's one of the only things that you put your mouth on that is considered an art object, and I think that's really personal and beautiful. It all starts with clay, which is a natural material that comes from the earth, and I love that. Again, with my interest in nature, it is a natural material. And if you work on the potter's wheel like I do, you prepare the clay by wedging it, which is kind of like kneading bread dough.
Then comes the most familiar step, throwing that hunk of clay on the potter's wheel. Of course, this is where it starts to come to life.
Clay, as it dries, develops different properties. So the nice thing is there are things you can do when it's wet that work better than when it starts to dry, and there are things that you can only do when it starts to dry as well.
After throwing several pieces, she'll let them dry overnight. Then other skills come into play, like her detailed carving work.
At that point, it kind of feels like chocolate, if the viewers at home want to imagine what that might feel like. I always want to reach through the TV and feel things. I'm a tactile person. But then after that step, when you've done everything you want to the actual form, it has to be fired.
This is called the initial bisque firing, about 1800 degrees for 12 hours. By the way, Audrey's proud that her shop, including the electric kiln, is completely sustainable.
I'm a zero waste production, meaning I recycle all my scrap clay and I recycle all my scrap glaze. And I've also bought enough solar panels to offset all my power use, including my kiln, which is a lot.
After firing, each pottery piece is ready for some color and shine.
The piece, after it's gone through the bisque kiln, is very porous, and it has not reached its final maturity, so it's still fragile, but you can handle it. So that's the point where you apply glaze, which the main ingredient in glaze is glass. That's what makes it functional and in many cases shiny. Not all glazes are shiny, but that's why clay does look like it has a glass coating. Oftentimes it actually is. And then the pieces get fired one more time. For me, they go up over 2,100 degrees. And they come out, and you have fully functional pieces that can even go in the dishwasher, the microwave, and the oven.
By the way, part of her passion for pottery involves sharing. You see, teaching this ancient art form has been a part of Audrey's life since college.
I've been really fortunate to be able to work in my field entirely my whole adult life, but teaching's been such a great way to work through new ideas with new people. It's amazing how much you learn from your students as a teacher, because every time you watch a group of people work through a technical issue or a new idea, it's like crowdsourcing knowledge, which is pretty neat.
Audrey says she produces about 1,000 pieces a year. That's a lot considering all the intricate workmanship. But that's the way it goes when you're a pro. And while the income is gratifying, according to Audrey, the artist, The real payoff is feedback from many happy repeat customers.
It's very humbling as an artist. I think, again, that's why I like making functional forms. It's just such a personal way to make pieces that really become parts of people's daily rituals. If I can make someone slow down and enjoy that morning cup of coffee just a little bit more because it's in a very intentional handmade vessel, mission accomplished.